Ooh, take a look at this. This guy is eating some food, but his food is a bit bland. It's a bit bland. What does that mean? What does bland mean? Bland means no flavor. It's bland. It doesn't have any flavor. Okay? It's not bad, but it's not good. It's just bland. It's like in the middle. It's nothing special. It's just bland. Okay, now we can also use the word bland to talk about people's personalities. Okay, for example, she has a bland personality. Okay, that means boring. Okay, if someone has a bland personality, that means they're just sort of a boring person. They're not really exciting. They're just boring. They're bland. Okay. Now this is an insult. If you tell someone that they have a bland personality, that's not good. That's like an insult because you're saying they're boring. They're not fun to be around. They're not exciting. They're just bland. Okay. Now let's say this guy is eating bland food. What advice would you give him to make his food taste a little bit better? What advice would you give him? Well, I would tell him to put a bit of salt on his food, right? Try adding a bit of salt, right? Look at that. See, there's the salt. That thing is called a salt shaker. A salt shaker, right? You shake a bit of salt onto your food, and also a pepper shaker, right? If you go to any restaurant here in Canada, on the table, there will be a salt shaker and a pepper shaker, right? So maybe if your food is a bit bland, you can add some salt and some pepper to make your food, taste a little bit better. Okay? So this is what you could tell him. You could say, try adding a bit of salt, or try adding a little salt, or try adding a little bit of salt. Okay? All of these mean the same thing. They mean a small amount of salt. Okay? So a bit is just a small amount of, okay? So you can either say a bit of or a little with no of here, or a little bit of salt. Okay, so they all mean the same thing. You can choose. Okay, try adding a bit of salt. Try adding a little salt. Try adding a little bit of salt. Okay, native English speakers use this word quite a bit. A bit, right? Quite a bit. Quite a lot. Or a little bit means a small amount of. English learners, they don't use words like this. So really, if you want to sound more like a native English speaker, you need to start using these kinds of words more in your daily speech. Okay, so I want you to practice. I want you to try to use this word bit. Today, when you're speaking English, try to put this word into your conversation. Okay, something like this, a bit of, or a little bit of, or just a little. Okay, so let's do some practice. Let's say this is me, and I have a headache. Okay, I have a headache. You need to give me some advice. Okay, what advice will you give me? This is your advice here, okay? Try getting fresh air. Try getting, what are you going to put there in that blank spot, in that gap? Try getting, well, you have some choices, right? Like I just showed you, so you can choose. Put something in there and write it down there in the comments, and I'll see you over in the next episode of Mad English TV. Take care.